This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Karen Harch is off tonight. Good evening, I'm Nolan Johannes. The message is, welcome to Wilkes-Barre. We're glad you're here. A reception is going on right now for the area's newest company, Document Automation Corporation. That company intends to hire 300 people. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis is live now at the reception, and let's find out exactly what this new company is all about. Mark, are you there?
Yes, I am, Nolan. Let me just tell you, first of all, we're at the Dorothy Dixon Dart Center on the campus of Wilkes College. Document Automation Corporation, or DAC, is moving one of its major facilities from Stamford, Connecticut, right here to Wilkes-Barre. The firm computerizes complex legal documents for major law firms all across the country, and already they're putting some local people to work. The Royal Globe building will be home for the new corporation. It's located along Kidder Street in Wilkes-Barre. Inside, about 70 people are hard at work learning the basics of the new company. These are the people who will train others as the company grows to more than 300 employees by next spring, running 3 shifts a day, 5 days a week. Joanne Grableski is from Pittston and just graduated from high school.
I think it'll be a good opportunity for people here because they don't, really hire people here for that many, good jobs. This is exactly what I was looking for. I think it's a great opportunity for people around this area because there's not that many jobs that have come here, employers that are seeking out these capabilities.
The company will continue growing over the next few months, eventually occupying most of the first floor of this building. Director of Operations Harris Telovitz tells me Wilkes-Barre was picked over cities like Pittsburgh and Columbus, Ohio, for one big reason.
Wilkes-Barre provided us everything that we were looking for. We're a service industry, and we were looking for people who have a very good work ethic, who want to work hard, who believe in quality product, as we do for our clients.
Now, company officials tell me that so far the response to just 2 newspaper ads has been very overwhelming as far as for the number of jobs that are available, and that anyone else applying for work will have to do so through the local job service office in Wilkes-Barre. The company also says they're very glad that they picked Wilkes-Barre, and Wilkes-Barre tonight is very glad it's been chosen. I'm Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Nolan?
Thank you, Mark. In Monroe County, there are plans to build a large tourist welcome center, complete with tourist attractions. Newswatch 16's Kathy Bellich says some people in the Delaware Water Gap aren't as excited as the developer.
Rochelle and Fred Waring say they have a dream that they're making come true. They're planning to build a $5 million tourist welcome center here, offering information, tourist services, and entertainment.
It's exciting. We're going to have a 4-story observation tower, which is an attraction, looking right up the gorgeous Delaware River. We're going to have rides on the Delaware River emanating from here, and I'm excited about it. It's something I've been thinking about for quite a while.
Some of his plans are still up in the air. He'd like to acquire this nearby closed landfill from the borough for a parking lot, and the borough's old train station now being used for storage for a concert area. But the borough isn't interested in selling or swapping the land. One of the problems that some of the residents here on Oak Street have with the project is that a lot of traffic would be coming through this usually quiet neighborhood. And there's another reason Helen Heller is against it.
That I don't want our little town spoiled. There are so few small towns like ours that are so beautiful. And when you see all the commercial properties coming in, it just takes away from them.
With or without borough property, Waring says construction on the Welcome Center will start here by fall. Kathy Bellich, Newswatch 16, Delaware Water Gap.
People living in Scranton say their fire and police protection is the best, their garbage collection the worst. Those 2 reactions came from over 2,000 questionnaires sent in to the mayor by newspaper readers. Besides trash collection, the other service getting low grades, water quality. 86% of those responding called it poor. Most people want federal funds to be spent on street paving, then flood protection. As far as rating Scranton as compared to 10 years ago, half said it's the same today. 28% said it was worse. But in response to the question, is Scranton a desirable place to live, 71% of those filling out the questionnaire said yes. A leading science organization is asking the government to ban cigarette smoking on all domestic airline flights. The National Academy of Sciences says the results of a study concludes smoke in large jetliners is harmful to passengers and crew's health and safety. As you might expect, we found mixed reaction about the non-smoking recommendation from people waiting for flights in Avoca today.
Smoking is a hazard, not only to the health, but also to the airline itself.
You're no more limited in space in an airplane as far as, air is concerned than you are in some kind of offices.
If the government did ban smoking on domestic airlines, it would apply to 16,000 flights each day. The pilot of a 727 jet plane that had just taken off for the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Airport this afternoon smelled a different kind of smoke. So did his passengers. So the U.S. Air Flight 359 turned right around and landed again. Instead of going to Pittsburgh and Raleigh, North Carolina, and airport emergency units were brought out to stand by. The smell of burning rubber grounded the plane and the passengers.
He told us he was returning to the airport. Said he could smell burning rubber. We all smelled it too. He just took a wide turn and came back and landed again.
No problem?
No problem.
You a little worried about it?
No, I'm not worried.
No.
It was real smooth.
Passengers had to be sent out on other flights late this afternoon from the airport in Avoca. When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll tell you about a babysitter who saved the lives of 4 kids. Plus, later on, we'll show you a clock that runs backwards, and we'll tell you why.
Nothing's too big or too small for your local IGA. What's important to you is very important to us. And save with these IGA specials. Joy Liquid Detergent, 22-ounce size, 98 cents. Or Zesty Mott's Apple Juice, half gallon at $1.38. And Seal Test Ice Cream, half gallon at $1.78. At IGA, everything's important, especially you.
Johnson Technical Institute can get you started on a rewarding future. Over 90% of last year's graduates have been placed in careers they were prepared for. At JTI, you receive hands-on training in many of today's high-tech fields and earn an associate in specialized technology degree. Evening classes are offered in some areas, and registration is going on right now. Johnson Technical Institute, learning to make America work. Located just off Interstate 81 at exit 56, call 342-6404.
Tonight, we want to tell you what you told us last night about the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. In a Newswatch 16 telephone survey, we asked you, do you think Pennsylvania should raise the speed limit on the interstates to 65 miles an hour? 61% of the people who responded to the phone survey said yes, the speed limit should be raised. 39% said no, keep it at 55. Thank you to those of you who phoned in to our unscientific survey. There's a lot of science that goes into meteorology.
Oh, quite a bit.
Here's the guy that knows about it. Tom, how is it out there?
Nolan, delightful. Another comfortable evening in the backyard. Well, I didn't see it, but I took at least a half-dozen calls today from viewers who saw it last night in the southwestern sky. A lot of strange lights, some of them spiraling and some odd-looking colors and like a cloud-like object in the sky. I thought it was a bright meteor. I thought it was a big meteor when they were telling me about it, but I spoke to an astronomer today from the Keystone Observatory, and he said it was a man-made satellite that was releasing a gas that produced a bluish cloud in the upper atmosphere. And sometimes they do tests of the upper atmosphere, and that apparently what it was last night, this satellite and releasing gas and an odd-looking cloud and some odd-looking lights up there. But it was seen all across Pennsylvania, Michigan, all across the U.S. And to be seen at that distance, it had to have been about a few hundred miles high. And meteors are much lower than that, only about 60 miles high. Saw a lot of them last night. Our weather watchers now, let's begin out in Center County. Boalsburg is the place. Bob Sutherland has 75 degrees out there, partly sunny. And Dustin Goldstein in Oliphant has 84 degrees and sunshine. And in Bethlehem, Michael Shea has 78 at this hour, partly cloudy skies. In the backyard now, a lot of blue overhead. The reading is 77. Humidity nice and low today, 41%. The wind east at 5, and the barometer at 30.21 now, and it's falling. Today's high, 78. Delightful. 49, the low this morning, a cold start at that. 98 back in 1944, and 84 and 56, the range a year ago. And there's a view today down on the farm in Wayne County. Beautiful. The satellite view just in. I thought we'd see a few more clouds overhead today than what we had. That cloud line did move a little bit farther away to the south and east, and so much of Pennsylvania enjoyed a nice day today. No rain nearby, but we do have some warmer, more humid air pushing up from the south, causing these scattered showers and thunderstorms, and these clouds will begin to venture our way later on in the week. For tonight, a few more meteors out there. I saw quite a few last night, and I think that was the peak of the shower last night, but there'll be a few more again tonight with the half moon setting in the west. Halstead 54, not quite as cool as last night. Sweet Valley 54, Delaware Water Gap, you're loading at about 57. And in Shamokin Dam, 58 tonight. The breeze coming in from the east overnight, no more than 5. A sunrise tomorrow morning will take place at 6:11, and the sun will set at 8:04. Overnight tonight, clear to partly cloudy, a decent night for stargazing. 56 the morning low. Partly cloudy tomorrow, another rain-free day, the high getting up to about 78. Then clouding up a bit on Friday. Most of the day rain-free, nothing more than a passing shower, perhaps in the morning. But it will become noticeably humid as we head into Saturday. Good chance of a thunderstorm Saturday, 83. Upper 80s possible Sunday, Nolan. We'll look out into the Atlantic Ocean tonight on the update to see if any hurricanes are forming.
And for the people with young kids that might want to see some shooting stars tonight, any chance of it earlier tonight, or does it have to be after midnight?
No, any time after it gets dark.
Okay. We'll be up there looking for them. Thanks, Tom. The Sports Watch is next with Albie Oxenrider in for Tim Carlson tonight, and a look at the rough and tough Jets defense. Plus, a famous running back becomes the richest cowboy ever.
I'm Elliot Katuna. It's back-to-school savings time at the Jean King. Stop in at any Jean King store now and save big on Levi's jeans. Student and husky size cords, $15.88. Boys size 8 to 14, $13.88. Junior and Missy straight leg denims only $20. Men's basic and button front straight leg pre-wash $22. And straight leg cords only $16.88.
Jean King's got it all for less. 2 for 1, 2 for 1. 2 sets of prints for 1 low price.
Share the memories. Let Ray and Derek process your film and get 2 sets of prints for 1 low price. Then pick your favorite photo and get a big 5x7 print free. A set to keep, a set to share, and a 5x7 free from Ray and Derek drugstores.
Your 2 for 1 photo store.
Tim Carlson a little under the weather tonight, so Albie, you get the draw.
That's right, and I'll tell you what, Herschel Walker might be causing more problems than doing good right now.
That's what it sounds like.
He has signed with the Dallas Cowboys, and already Tony Dorsett says he wants to be traded. One thing's for sure right now, that is Herschel Walker is now the highest paid Dallas Cowboy in history. Today, Walker signed a 5-year, $5 million contract. He's only 24, but never even played in an NFL game. He's already a superstar, though. He's the all-time rushing leader at Georgia, Heisman Trophy winner from '82, and a professional star from the New Jersey Generals.
I've always said, you know, my life is, ever since I've started playing football, it seemed like it was always leading to the Cowboys. And, you know, to now get an opportunity to play, you know, in a Cowboy uniform in Texas is going to be a big honor for me.
The Cowboys drafted Walker in the 5th round of the '85 draft, and that tells the story. You got to give Tex Schramm and the rest of the team's management credit for thinking ahead. Another former Heisman Trophy winner is making news, but it's not good news for quarterback Doug Flutie. Flutie and the NFL rights to Flutie are owned by the LA Rams, but right now the Rams say they are not interested. Rams spokesman Pete Donovan says to sign Flutie would mean redesigning the whole Rams offense. The team also has 3 veteran quarterbacks in Dieter Brock, Steve Bartkowski, and Steve Dills. In other NFL news, the Buffalo Bills announced today that they will start contract talks later this week with quarterback Jim Kelly. Also, former Tampa Bay quarterback Doug Williams has been signed by the Washington Redskins. Well, tonight we continue our preseason look and conclude with our 3-part series at the New York Jets, one of last year's AFC wildcard teams. The Jets are hoping that with a little bit of luck, they can go at least one step further in '86, and in this case, going one step further might mean good defense. The revamping of the New York Jets defense started last year when they named Bud Carson as defensive coordinator. Not long after that, the Jets switched to a 3-4 defensive alignment, and the results were impressive. In one season, the team's NFL defensive ranking jumped from 21st to 8th. In 1986, they're looking for more improvement.
It's an area we want to try to improve, and they showed some improvement last week in the scrimmage against the Redskins, and we know we have a long way to go, but we're going to keep working at it.
The defense is getting better and better, and Bud Carson's
3-4, and the different designs that he's put in are finally paying off in the second year, so it should be exciting this year.
If you were asked to name someone on the New York Jets defense, you might think of Mark Gastineau, and that's not unusual. Gastineau's flamboyant style seems to get him a lot of publicity. But there were two other All-Pros in the Jets defense last year. One was veteran Joe Klecko, and one was former Penn State linebacker Lance Mel.
It's been a learning process all last year, and hopefully we can just carry it on. We got a lot more to add into it this year, so it's going to be exciting.
Another Penn State grad on the Jets defense is Wilkes-Barre's Harry Hamilton. He, too, is looking forward to 1986.
I think with a year of the system under our belts and whatnot, the knowledge of it and what have you, it certainly is an advantage. And you know, the more we learn, the more we're exposed to it, the better we're going to be.
And there's one other notable fact about this year's Jets defense. They're hungry.
I think that we've got to do it this year because now the whole team is in their prime, and now's the year.
That's Mark Gastineau, and we'll be watching the progress of the Jets in '86, especially the progress of hometown hero Harry Hamilton. Not a good White Sox debut for 41-year-old Steve Carlton last night. Carlton started and pitched 3 innings against Detroit. He let up 6 runs on 7 hits, including 2 homers as the Tigers beat Chicago 7-3. Carlton walked 2 and struck out 4. Sox manager Jim Fregosi says even though he had a bad debut, he will stick with lefty for the remainder of 1986. California Angels have retired the number 29 of future Hall of Famer Rod Carew. It's the first jersey number ever retired by the Angels, and it comes just less than 9 months after they gave Carew his unconditional release. He played 19 years of Major League Ball, including 7 with California. Lifetime average for Rod Carew, 328. Future Hall of Famer, no doubt about that, but he's out right now. And by the way, a lot of Jets fans have been asking me when the Jets are going to be on Monday Night Football. First appearance is September 11th. That's a Thursday night game, so we'll be looking for them then.
All right. Thanks. See you on the update. Now, if you're a lefty, you know how much of a pain working with right-handed items can be. We'll visit with a woman who has turned her troubles into profit next as Newswatch 16 continues.
Hamburger places may be good at making hamburgers, but when they try to make chicken, it doesn't always fly. That's why I count on the chicken experts, Kentucky Fried Chicken. The Colonel's secret recipe makes their chicken tender, juicy, and downright delicious.
Finger licking good. At Kentucky Fried Chicken, all we do is chicken, so we do it right. Those burger places are only fooling themselves.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
The volume dealers do it again. It's a factory-authorized clearance sale at Scranton Dodge and Kingston Dodge, the area's volume dealers. Using special factory rebates and interest rates, you can save thousands of dollars on our entire inventory of Dodge cars and trucks, featuring the '87 Dodge Omni America and Ram Tough Dodge truck, the only domestic truck line with a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty on all models. A total of 500 vehicles for sale at both locations. If you want big selection, low prices, and low finance rates, come to the factory-authorized clearance sale at Scranton Dodge and Kingston Dodge, the area's volume dealers.
Finally tonight, you may not know it, but today is National Left-Handers Day. Newswatch 16's Valerie Devine found a woman in Abington Township who is not only left-handed, but sells things especially for lefties.
There's no question it's a holiday at Dale Hirsch's house in Abington Township. There are small reminders of National Left-Handers Day everywhere, including this sign sitting underneath of Dale's clock. The clock runs backwards. It's just one of many things Dale has as part of her mail-order business, especially designed for left-handers. Why sell things that only left-handed people can use? Dale says she got the idea while trying to finish a project at a craft show.
I couldn't do the craft project because the paper I had to cut to do it was, they only had right-handed scissors, so the other girls that were right-handed, they had to cut it. I don't know how to cut right-handed, I only had to cut left-handed. It's tough.
Dale Hirsch decided there's a need for more than just left-handed scissors. She does have those, but she also has left-handed mugs and left-handed cooking utensils.
This is a pie server, and it's made for left-handed people because the ridges, I don't know if you can see them, but the ridges are on the left side.
One of the newest items out right now, especially with kids going back to school, are left-handed notebooks. Now, normally a left-hander writing in a notebook would have to write right across these spirals, and left-handers say that can be very uncomfortable. But with these notebooks, a left-hander can write right on the paper, something that right-handers take for granted every day.
There's no reason that if you're left-handed that they can't acclimate things to be right-handed, so that you can just cut or cook or write or do anything that that a right-handed person do. They just have too many things for right-handed, not enough for left-handed. And
Dale Hirsch would like to see her business expand to include even more left-handed items. That way, southpaws won't feel left out. Valerie Devine, Newswatch 16, Abingdon Township.
That's a good idea. That's Newswatch 16 for Wednesday. Be sure to join us tonight on The Update when we'll be telling you why surf's up at the Newswatch 16 Update Video Zoo. For the entire team, including Karen, who has the night off, thanks for being with us. Enjoy your evening.
When you see news in the making, Newswatch 16 wants to hear from you. Call 1-800-533-NEWS, toll free from anywhere in Pennsylvania. Call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 1-800-533-NEWS.